The HGBF winning Fumina is not as bad as the last few Gundam girls we've seen. Bandai have definitely made some marked improvements on it, but still it's far from perfect. If you're considering it compared to other anime girl model kits on the market, at this price point I guess it's not so bad. However, if you are comparing it to relatively priced Gunpla kits, then it completely pales in comparison. I have to hand it to Bandai, the little gimmick of the transforming SD Gundam is really cool, but the base model kit of Fumina herself is a little bit on the weird side. So is this kit better than those that we've seen already? Well, is AIDS better than cancer? Arguably yes, but you don't want either. But let's see why. So finally there's what she looks like out of the box and snapped together, and I have to admit, it does look that much better than the last few ones that have been released. I actually did notice this when I went to C3 AFA as well as to the Gundam base. This kit was on display at both of those events and it did look better than the rest of them around it. Honestly, this model kit looks really good when standing in a normal stance like what you're seeing right here. I have to hand it to Bandai for actually putting that extra effort in to make this thing look that much better. But once you try and put it in any kind of pose, that goes right out the window. Bandai's vain attempts of sexualizing this model kit by sticking that arse on it have backfired completely. Backside fired, I should say.
My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
I mean, this thing looks ridiculous from absolutely every angle. I mean, seriously, look at the amount of effort they've put into the arse on this thing, and then the amount of effort they put into the shoes. I mean, seriously, what the fuck are those? And anyway, of course, it looks a little bit funky. Not as bad as the last few, but how about the articulation? Well, there is the head up and down, so there's next to nothing there at all. It can spin all the way around, of course, because it is possessed by the devil. It needs to be able to spin all the way around. And of course, the fact that the collar moves around when you're moving the head, that's a feature, of course. It's meant to do that. There is the arm all the way up. So we've got a joint inside the shoulder there, as well as this ball joint that can rotate all the way around. Rotation at this point, bend at the elbow. The wrist is just a ball joint and a very weak one at that. So this falls off extremely easily. As for the ab crunch, that's back and forward, so that is nothing. Considering it's hollow, you'd expect more. Side to side, nothing really. Rotation all the way around. Nothing down here either besides rotation as well. The legs are jointed in here so they can move up and down. So there is the kick all the way up to the front. As for down to the back, this gets in the way a little bit, so that's about it there. There is the split, so pretty good. Rotation at the thigh, the bend at the knee, and the ankle has up and down. Rotation here, as well as rotation there. So as for the articulation, it's all in the arms and legs. From the crotch to the top of the head, there's pretty much next to nothing. So as for accessories, in here we get a stand, beam rifle, extra set of recessed eyes that come with these kind of little plastic sections if you want the eyes to be sparkly, a pair of holding hands, and what is most definitely the best part of this kit, this little guy right here. This little version of Star Winning Gundam looks awesome. It's so cool. Sadly, I don't still have Star Winning for a size comparison, but it looks great. Initially, I didn't expect it to have any articulation, but it does, surprisingly. The arm can move up at the shoulder there. That's just a circular peg joint, something very simple, but that can move around. That's cool. The arm in there is on a ball joint, so the arm can move up and down like that. It does pop out quite often, but yeah, it can move up sort of to the front, down a little bit to the back, but the more you move it, the more likely it is to just pop out. The legs in there, as you can see, also have a slight bit of articulation as well. They can move back, whoops, and forward at that point there, and the ankle is a little ball joint so they can move around as well. This is more part of the transformation, but still it's pretty cool that it can move to some degree. Also, I almost forgot, he does come with a little rifle, so that pops in there like so. And of course, the main purpose for this little guy is to become the costume armor for Fumina. This is actually really well implemented. Once the head pops off and the boots come off the back, this whole upper section here opens out like that. Those parts pop up onto the shoulders, and the upper and lower sections detach like this for easy attachment. But that's not how it happened in the anime, so let's do it right.
Please help me! Oh!
ての者に勝利を約束する。すべての者に勝利を約束する。虹色の戦士、虹色の戦士、ウイニングフミナ、ウイニングフミナ。
I want my money back. So is the transforming SD costume armor novel? Yes. Does it end up completely blocking most of the articulation? Yes. Do the heels make it too tall for its stand? Yes. Is it an absolute piece of shit? Well, not really. I bet you expected me to say yes. All in all, the general build quality, articulation, execution, and bang for your buck is piss poor. Overall, it is an improvement over what we've seen before. You could definitely do worse. For an anime girl model kit at this price tag, I guess it isn't so bad. But if you're considering it as a Gunpla at this price point, it's awful. So all in all, it's as good as these Gunpla girls get so far. Bandai seem to be getting a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it could be worse. Oh yeah, also the rifle can become a crap looking and crap quality sword.